Police in the UK say they've arrested 2 teenagers in connection with the hostage situation at a Texas synagogue over the weekend. It's unclear if they're facing charges.
Officials say 44-year-old Malik Akram, a British citizen, was responsible for that hours-long standoff. Omar Villafranca is following the investigation down in Colleyville, Texas.
For nearly 11 hours on Saturday, law enforcement stood ready outside of Congregation Beth Israel. Inside, 4 hostages were held at gunpoint, their Saturday services interrupted by Malik Faisal Akram.
We're still processing. It's been a lot. It's completely overwhelming.
Rabbi Charlie Citron Walker was one of the hostages.
Some of his story didn't quite add up, so I was a little bit curious, but that's not necessarily an uncommon thing. Right before he revealed himself, but this was, plenty of time in, I heard a click, and it could have been anything, and it turned out that it was his gun.
Officials say 44-year-old Akram asked negotiators for the release of Afia Siddiqui, who is currently in federal prison in Texas for the attempted murder of U.S. forces in Afghanistan. She's suspected of having ties to al-Qaeda and has even been called Lady al-Qaeda. In a statement, Siddiqui's legal counsel said, "We want the assailant to know that his actions are wicked and directly undermine those of us who are seeking justice for Dr. Afia." Shortly after 5 p.m., Akram released one of the hostages. After 4 more hours of negotiations, the FBI's elite hostage rescue team, flown in from their base in Quantico, Virginia, moved in.
I threw a chair at the gunman, and I headed for the door. And all 3 of us were able to get out without even a shot being fired.
After a loud bang and the sound of gunshots, Akram was dead, and all 4 hostages were safe.
The rabbi says he and the other hostages were able to escape in part because they had gone through safety and active shooter training over the last several years. And the numbers show that training is needed. In 2020, the ADL recorded the 3rd highest number of anti-Semitic incidents since they started tracking that in 1979. Omar Villafranca, CBS News, Colleyville, Texas.